So, hi everyone. No, I am the first presenter of the subject, EDOC 100, Giancarlo Gayuma, and my assigned topic was all about learner-centered psychological principles. So, there are 14 principles, uh, 14 principles aspects, no? And their aspects was the principles emphasize internal psychological factors controlled by the learner, while also recognizing the influence of um, external environmental factors that interacts with these internal elements. No? So, describes a learning theory that acknowledgement is the importance of both internal and external factors in the learning process. Um, Meaning ng internal factors, it is refers to the learner's own thoughts, feelings, motivations, and also their abilities. And these things are controlled by the learners themselves, such as their prior knowledge, learning styles, and their self-efficacy. While when we talk about external factors, it is it is the influence, no, according to the surroundings, just like as environment, um, teacher styles, and other social interactions. So the 14 principles aims to address, no, learners comprehensively within the real world context, and should be understood as an interconnected set rather than as isolation. So ang goal ng 14 principles, no, is to address the learners realization, no, through real world, and being socialized also, no, interconnected through their classmates and also their teachers, and um, socialization rather than isolation, para hindi sila like hindi sila makulong sa isang apat na corner. So the 14 principles are categorized into four areas: cognitive, which is cognitive and metacognitive factors; motivational and affective factors; developmental and social factors; and the individual difference factors that um, influence learners and learning processes, or such as method. Then those principles are designed to be applicable to all individuals involved in the especially now in the education system, including children's, teachers, administrators, parents, and such as community members in the society. So cognitive and metacognitive. Uh, the first is cognitive factors, now refers to the mental processes involved in acquiring, processing, and using knowledge. So specifically itong cognitive ay thinking, no, it is in short, what of thinking is the mental processes themselves. So learners, so as a learners, um they processes kung ano mang yung nadidinig nila sa kanila, uh, example as no as a future educators, uh, they process kung ano man yung nadidinig sa nile-lecture na sa teachers sa kanila, directly or indirectly ba. So in short din sa metacognitive, This is the factors refers to our awareness and control over our own cognitive processes. So in short, ito yung how of thinking, no? How we manage and control our thoughts with our cognitive factors. So here, the 14 principles. The first one is nature of the learning processes. Ito yung the learning of complex subject matter is the most effective when it's an intentional process of construction, meaning transformation, and experience. So nature, no, ito yung natural, no? When it comes understanding on a subject such as like us, no, if want natin magturo sa isang mag-aaral or sa isang room within the children's, mas better talaga yung um, magbibigay ka ng information sa kanila which is yung memorable, which is yung natutugma sa real life situation, no? Like in short experience. So the second was goals of the learning process, no? The successful learner over time and with support and instructional guidance can create meaningful, coherent representation of knowledge. So yes, no, yung isang successful learner over time, pag mayroon siyang sapat na support sa isang teacher man o kaya sa isang parent, and meron siyang guidance, sapat na guidance, no, ay makakabuo siya ng isang meaningful, no, meaningful presentation like uh, paggagawa siya ng presentation just like yung mga bata like may pinapasagot sa kanila, uh, madali lang nilang magigets, like madali lang nilang um, in short of them, like in short pag sa kanila like suitable na ba kasi mayroon silang sapat na support, no, throughout their lessons. Construction of knowledge. The successful learner can link new information with existing knowledge in meaningful ways. So this is kind of like yung students ay nabigyan na sa task na gumawa ng ibang pangyayari base sa binigay mong example. With that makakaisip siya ng mas broad pa, no, like mas makakreate siya ng mas marami pang pangyayari base sa binigay mo sa kanya, kasi isa siyang successful learner. Nagiging successful learner lang din siya kasi mabuti yung the way you teach, the way you manage them, kasi ang resulta lang kasi once maganda yung pakikisama mo sa isang estudyante, like hindi like fair sa kanila, like yung treatment mo sa kanila, like yung treatment mo sa kanila was so fair. So ayun, mas maganda yung reflect sa kanila. So strategic thinking rather. The successful learner can create and use a repertoire of thinking and reasoning strategies to achieve complex learning goals. So from the word strategic thinking, so makaka create sila, no, ng strategy kung when it comes on thinking and reasoning, no, like yung halimbawa nito is may pinapagawa sa kanila, tapos yung gusto mo like ipapalabas mo kung ano yung strategy nila with that specific task. If you are a teacher, instructors such as us, no, as future educators. With that way, mailalabas nila yung style nila kung paano nila ito gawin, paano nila ito malulutasan, ganun. So with that also, ma-enhance yung cognitive and metacognitive factors nila. So this thinking about thinking, high order, so yes, no, thinking about thinking, high order strategies, um, uh, high order strategies for selecting and monitoring mentor persons facilitate creative and critical thinking. So this kind of thinking was they're advanced no on mental skills. There are such as learners that high yung kanilang order strategies, like including ito is skills that involve planning, monitoring, and evaluating your thinking. It's like having a control panel no, of your brain. Like example, if imagine you're trying to solve a difficult problem. So instead of instead of just jumping and trying a find solution, you might select a strategy. Example, I'll try a brainstorming first and to see if I can generate some new ideas. And pagkasunod yun is monitor your progress, no? Am I coming up with any useful ideas? Like, is this strategy working? Then the third one is evaluate your results. Did I brainstorm help? Do I need to try a different approach? Ganon. In short, being aware of your own thinking helps you become a more effective and creative problem solver as a learner. So the next was context of learning. Learning is influenced by environmental factors including culture, technology, and instructional process. So yes, no, as of now, napapansin natin yung mga learnings talaga is more influenced by their surroundings, yung nakakapaligid sa kanila. But as of now, yung uh, the most influence talaga when it comes to learning is the technology. Kasi kahit saan naman tayo titingin, strategy, technology is kahit saan talaga. Even though um, may assignments ka or what, technology might help you talaga. But there are some disadvantages now when you're using such as technologies in terms of learning kasi may mga uh, learnings talaga sa mga technologies na such as fake news, hindi siya reliable, like plagiarism na talaga. But much better if you learn something like yung sa book or something na like through personal interactions talaga. So motivational and affective factors. The affective motivational aspects, okay, including emotions related to a specific situation or interest, and motivation related to a task or subject. So, ang motivational affective factors, ito yung mga subjects na more on affective mo, like makaka-motivate sa isang learners. Like, the subject is science, inspired by the environment or such as real life situations. Like, as a basic as a basic science naman sa elementary, like yung water, like solid, liquid, gas, that's the basic learnings now when it comes to science. Yes, it is a specific situation like related to a task or subject. Magpapagawa ka ng mga basic experiments sa kanila para malaman nila yung um, realidad sa pamamagitan ng siyensya. So, motivational and emotional influence on learning. What and how much is learning influenced by the learner's motivation to learn, in turn, is influenced by the individual's emotional states. Motivational and emotional influence on learning. What and how much is learned is influenced by the learner's motivation. Kind of motivate to learn. In turn, is influenced by the individual's emotional states, beliefs, interests, and goals, and habits of thinking. So from the word motivation, as a instructor, teachers, or such as no future educations, need mo talaga ng magpapamotivate sa yung uh, uh, students para hindi sila like maboard sa isang subject na dinidiscuss mo sa kanila, no? In short, motivation drives learning. What and how much is learned. Motivations determines what we choose to learn, how deeply we engage it, and how much effort we put in. And yung mga highly motivated learner, it's more like uh, likely to delve, no? Likely delve like into complex topics. Mas gusto pa nila mas pinapa-deeper pa na topics para mas ma-challenge sila and mas makakagain sila ng more informations. Example ito is may isang students na porsigido na malaman about history. So, pumunta siya sa isang library para bumasa ng books about history. While someone with little interest sa isang history is uh, wala siyang pakialam kahit ano pang yung a kind of wala lang sa kanya. But then, yung isa is more on knowledge siya kasi mas gusto niya malaman yung history na mas malalim pa, no? So, when it comes to emotional states, our feelings can significantly impact motivation. For example, no, a positive emotional state like curiosity or such as excitement can fuel our desires to learn, no? So imagine a student excited about a new topic versus one reading a test. Their engagement and learning will likely differ, no? So in summary, yung motivation is a key, of driving a learning, determining both content and depth of our knowledge acquisition. So while uh, our internal factors is just like emotions, beliefs, interests, and thinking habits, no, may shape our level of motivation. So intrinsic motivation to learn. The learner's creativity, high order thinking, and nature curiosity all contribute to motivation to learn. So intrinsic motivation is stimulated by a task of optimal novelty and difficulty, and relevant personal interest and providing for personal, personal, personal choice. So, yung intrinsic motivation naman is iba, no? Like, uh, isa rin to sa mga nag-uugnay sa mga higher order thinking skills, no? Like, ins- intrinsic motivation, like you do something because you'll get a reward, like money or something na pinapagaw, something na ginugustuhan mo, no? Or such as avoid punishment, like mababang grades. While yun yung extrinsic motivation. While yung intrinsic motivation naman is you do something because you genuinely enjoy it. Like find it challenging or feel of sense, no, of accomplishment from doing it. Like, wala kang hinahangad na kapalit, no, like yung gusto mo yung uh, mamomotivate ka purely, but wala kang hinihinging kapalit. Yan yung ibig sabihin ng intrinsic motivation to learn. So, here is the effects of motivation on efforts. So, acquisition of complex knowledge and skills requires extended learner effort, and guided practices. Without learners' motivation to learn, the willingness to exert this effort is unlikely uh, without coercion. So, ang epekto naman talaga sa motivation is like uh, pag mamomotivate ka sa isang bagay, it can yun, like it can gain you some excitement, do, like once kasi may motivation ka, just like example, sinabihan ka ng mama mo once, mapapasa mo tong ang tawag doon, test na to, may reward ka. But sinabi niya na sinabi niya exactly na hindi niya sinabi exactly kung ano yung reward na yun. So, na-excite ka mas lalo. So, with that, matatawag na siya yung isang motivation. Kasi once mapasa mo yung test na yun, may mabibigyan kang reward sa iyong parents. So, developmental and social factors. Developmental and social factors greatly influence learning. Learning is most effective when students' physical, intellectual, emotional, and social development is considered. So yes naman, developmental and social factors, just like what I said earlier na, isa ito ang developmental ang makaka-affect sa isang learning ng isang learner. No, yes, tama. Isang isang learner. Kasi, uh, actually, depende din if, I mean, actually, it depends on the cultural and beliefs and perspective of the learner. Kasi maraming learners na iba-iba eh. Like, hindi mawala yung fast learner, meron din yung slow learner. But with that, yung learning uh, efficacy nila is nagde-depende sa kanilang surroundings, yung kanilang kinagigisnan na mga lugar, and at iba pa. Kung depende kung saan siya nalalagay, if nalagay siya sa isang uh, uh, environment na medyo tahimik, medyo maingay, depende na yun sa kanyang surroundings kung ano man yung malalearn niya sa isang bagay-bagay. So, developmental influence on learning. As individual develop, there are different opportunities and constraints for learning. Learning is most effective when differential development, excuse me, within and across physical, intellectual, emotional, and social domain is taken into account. So, same lang din, no? Developmental influence on learning. As individual develop, there are different opportunities. Yes, it is correct. Kasi, there are different naman opportunities when it comes to us, no? Different opportunities and constraints for learning. But then, learning is the most effective when differential development within and across physical, intellectual. So, yes, no? learning naman talaga is the most effective no when it comes on physical, intellectual, emotional. Kasi with that, malalearn mo ano yung ah, tama, ano yung mali sa mga ginawa mo. And one thing also when it comes to emotional, you malalearn mo din kung ano yung kinagigisnan mo, kinagigisnan mong emotion, kailangan mo ba yung baguhin no hindi. And also social domains, no? Social domains, yan yung kinagigisnan social mo like surroundings, kung ano man yung kinagigisnan mo na ma-learn ka din doon kasi with that in that way doon nahubog yung pagkatao ng isang learner. So social influence and learning is influenced by social interactions, interpersonal relations, and communication with others. So yes, no, social influence and learning is influenced by social interactions, interpersonal relations, and communication with others. So as a learners or hindi maiwa as a student, hindi maiwasan natin yung mga circle of friends, groups. But with that, you must choose the wise a group of friends just like um yung mga friends na good influence no like with that also learning is focus on communication with others and I mean communication with your circle of friends or sa group na kinabibilangan. So individual different factors. Examples of individual different include personality traits, values, and beliefs, physical abilities, age, gender, ethnicity, learning styles, cognitive abilities, attitudes, and emotions, and levels of motivation and resilience. So yes, kagaya ng sinabi ko kanina, each one of us has a different perspective, no? Iba-iba tayo sa sarili. Kung ano yung kinagigis na natin, kung ano yung personal. Examples of individual difference include personality traits, values and beliefs, physical abilities, age, gender, ethnicity, learning styles, cognitive abilities, attitude and emotions, and level of motivation and desires. So each one of us has a different, no, especially on personality traits, including as a future educators, makaka-encounter tayo ng madaming mga kinds of uh, level no, sa isang estudyante. Including nito may mataray, may mainitin yung ulo, basta madami pang iba. So with that, need kailangan mo silang uunawain kasi with that also malalaman mo kung ano man yung mga kulang sa kanila or as a teacher kailangan din niya kung paano mo sila hubugin ng mabuti sa kanilang sa iyong pamamaraan ng pag-teach sa kanila. So learning and diversity, learning is the most effective in difference in learners linguistic cultural and social backgrounds are taken into account. This means that learners may came from diverse linguistic backgrounds. So, iba't iba yung mga lingwahe nila, no? May mga Tagalog, may Bisaya. So, as a educator, dapat alam mo yun kung paano mo sila mai-handle through their different language and dialects, no? And also teachers need to be aware of these difference and provide support and resources for learners to access their curriculum, and this could involve using visuals, simplified language, or providing a language support services with that specific dialect or kanilang mga kinagigis na ng salita. So, and uh, standard and assessment. Setting appropriately high and challenging standards are assessing the learner as well as learning progress include diagnostic process and the outcome assessment. No, so setting appropriately high and challenging standards. So this means setting goals that are ambitious but achievable. No, all as a features, they should push learners to grow and develop their skills, but not and they even although may kakayahan sila but if alam mo yung dun lang yung kakayahan nila, di mo sila mapupurso but through their limit as also na na-try nila, okay na yun. Imagine a musician setting a goal to learn challenging piece, but it is important to choose a piece that is stretched but not impossible. So, ganun lang, make it simple. So, there are the summary of yun yung uh, last kinds of uh, 14 principles of LCP. So, there are the 14 summary. So, which is the knowledge base, the strategic processing control, motivation and affect, development and individual differences, and the last was situation context. So these five five bases was na i-intact no sa 14 principles sa LCP, which is learners centered principles. So that's for all of my topic. Thank you and have a good day. Bye bye.